Hi everyone. This video is for students who are preparing AP Calculus exam this year 2020, and in this video lecture I will try to explain how important it is for you guys to understand the core structure of the question first and how easily solve the question and find out the right solution for each question by understanding these core structures. The College Board already announced it's changing. There is a changing for the exam date and the format of the exam due to the coronavirus this year. So you will take the main exam on the May 12th on Tuesday, 11 a.m. in Vancouver, where I am now. And if you're actually living in other city, then you have to check your schedule from the College Board website. And there will be another makeup exam on June 1st, Monday. And during the first exam, if you have any interruption like a Wi-Fi failure or any other issues, then after exam you can submit it, the makeup request form, and then you can take the another makeup exam on the June 1st. Yes, as most of students already know, we will have two questions only in this year, and one is the 25-minute and second question for 15-minute. Both are multi-focus free response question, and College Board says it will be similar component to traditional AP Calculus exam questions. So you need to practice with the past year free response questions and to prepare these kind of two questions. Okay, so it's a 25-minute and 15-minute for each questions. But according to the latest announcement from the College Board, you will have a timer on your screen when you take the online exam. And the timer is actually including 5 minutes for submitting time. So for question 1, your timer will show up 30-minute limit, and question 2 will show the 20-minute limit for each question. So be careful and when you're actually having the timers during the exam. Core concept of calculus is actually simple. But recognizing this structure in each question is not that simple. So that's the reason why you guys need to practice a lot. So calculus is about f of x, f prime x, f double prime x. Already you know it. Okay, from top to bottom. If you want to go downstairs, you need to use differentiation. Okay, if you have algebraic expression of f of x or f prime x, to go down from f of x to f prime x or from f prime x to double prime x, you need to do derivative with respect of x or any independent variable for those functions. And if you have a graph, then you can use the slope. Okay. In opposite way, from bottom to top, if you know the f double prime to find out f prime and f of x, then you need to using area if you have a graph, or if you have algebraic expression, then you need to take the antiderivative or definite integral to get those values. That's the core concept of calculus. Easy, okay? But the important thing is f of x, f prime x, f double prime x, not only just this three steps, but it could be anything. Whenever you have consecutive these relations and you have you can find out these three steps using differentiation and integration. Okay, so that means it could be starting from f prime. So then from f prime, the next one is f double prime, and the last one will be f triple prime. Okay, and it could be anything. Okay, doesn't matter. So which order of derivative you have. If you have a three set of consecutive derivative functions, then these relations is important for us. Okay, and even if you have word problem, this is also same relation. From amount, if you take the derivative, you will get the rate of this amount. And if you take another derivative, then you will get rate of this one, so that will be rate of the rate. Okay. From the rate of the rate, you can, if you take the antiderivative or area, you can find out rate, which is amount of this rate. And if you go up, that will be amount of this rate. Okay, so in the word problem, if we have a word problem, then you have to verify and figure out if the given function is about the amount or is the rate, or the rate of the rate. Okay, depending on which one is given, then you may need to go upstairs or downstairs or either up or down as well. Okay, so what these sets tell us. So if you have three sets of functions, these are for this f of x. Okay, so these two f prime, f double prime are paired to get the information about f of x. Okay, we want to find out increasing or decreasing of f of x or concave up shape or down shape of f of x by investigating f prime or f double prime. As we already know, if f prime is positive, then it's increasing. Which one? F of x is increasing. If f prime is negative, then f of x is decreasing. And if f double prime is positive, that means f of x is concave up shape. And if f double prime is negative, then concavity of f of x is down shape. Okay, so if we have this reset, these two are the function giving the information about f of x. Okay, so to verify f of x, we will use two downstairs there. Okay, so this concept is always consecutive, derivative, and integration. So what if you need to know about f prime? Now instead of f of x, we want to know about f prime. If f prime is increasing, decreasing, is the thing that we need to know, then we have to find one step down, this f double prime. So instead of this one, so to find out the information of f prime, then we have to using f double prime to find out the increasing, decreasing of f prime, because this is the prime of f prime. And for concavity up, down, we need f triple prime, because this is the two step down from f prime, right? So it could be any order of the derivative, whatever it is. If we want to find the increasing or decreasing of this function, then you need to investigate one downstairs. And if we want to find the concavity of this function, then you need to invest second to two downstairs there. Okay, so by understanding this structure, you can always solve this kind of the calculus problem. Okay, now let's think about the actual pattern of the question. Sometimes the f of x is given. If f of x is given, we need to know the f prime and f double prime to find out the increasing, decreasing, relative maximum or minimum, or concavity or point of inflection. To digging out these kind of information about the f of x, we need f prime and f double prime. And if f of x is given, then we need to find out these two with differentiation, because it's keep going down only. Compared to that one, if the f double prime is given, same thing. If we know the f prime and f double prime, we will find out the characteristic of f of x. And how can we mathematically find out f prime and f of x from f double prime? It's going up. So we need integration. Okay, if we have a graph of it, we may need to calculate the area inside the graph, or if we have a mathematical expression for f double prime, we need to antiderivative or definite integral to get the formula or the value of f prime and f prime x as from f double prime. The most common pattern is actually giving f prime x. If the f prime x is given, then to find out f of x, we need to integration, and also to find out f double prime x, we need to differentiation. So we can have various of question in the one set of question. So when you have a free response question like for this year, this says the free response question with multi-focusing questions, this kind of things will be on your exam. So if you have f prime x, same thing. The f prime x, f double prime will be used to find the characteristics of f of x, and mathematically how can you find them is integration and differentiation. So you can just solving. So when you have a question, that's the important thing. That's what I emphasize in this video lecture. Okay, what I have. You have to find out what you have. Okay, so is it f of x or is it f prime x? Is it f double prime x or f prime x? Do we have to find out f prime x for f of x, or do we have to find out f double prime x for f prime x or f of x? These kind of relation is the most important thing that you have to catch up at the first time when you read the question. Some other case, it looks like f of x is given. Okay, so on the graph, instead of f prime, the question actually give graph of f of x, and you actually having another information about g of x, which is defined based on the f of x, like integral from any constant to x f of t dt. If you have these kind of things, then using fundamental theorem of calculus part 2, g prime x is d dx integral a to x ft dt, which is f of x. In the same way, g double prime x must be equal to g prime x. This is the important relation between f of x and g of x. Because of that one, the question actually give f of x, but because of this relation, how can you find out g of x from f of x? From here to here, like we have here, we need integration. So if you have formula, then we actually need to find out the expression with the antiderivative, or if we have a graph of f of x, this one can be found from the area underneath curve f of x. But these two must be same, these two must be same with this relation. So if the question asks about the g of x, same as before, for increasing, decreasing, or relative maximum or minimum of g of x, we have to invest this g prime x, or investigate the g prime x. Or if you want to find out the concavity of g of x, then we have to examine the g double prime. Okay, but this, because of g prime x is same as f of x, instead of this one, we'll check f of x. Okay, how can we find out the increasing or decreasing from f of x? No, although this is f of x, what we are finding is g prime x. Okay, so g prime x is the important factor for g of x to find out increasing, decreasing, or relative extremas. Make sense? So when you have these kind of structure, although you are talking about the g of x, you have to find out the g prime, g double prime based on f of x. So f of x for g prime, f prime for g double prime. So concavity of g of x can be found from g double prime, yes. But if you have graph of f of x, you just need to check the slope of f of x, which is f prime, to check g double prime. So when you have these kind of the combination in your question, then you have to organize which one is for this and which one is for that. Okay, once you make these kind of letter structure, then it's easy to find out answer. Okay, so I just explained how to recognize the core concept, core structure of the question. Once you recognize that core structure of the question, then you should know how can you get the higher floor and how can you get the lower floor from there, okay, for your own purpose. Okay, if the question asks about the increasing or decreasing, yes, we need prime, but we need the prime of that value. So for example, if the question asks when the position increasing, then yes, we need to check the velocity, because velocity is the prime of position. But if the question asks when the velocity increasing, then we have to check the derivative of velocity, which is acceleration. Okay, so once you recognize this structure, rest of them is just a technique. You can actually apply a lot of rules and the properties and the theorem, and you can find out the answer. Okay, so I will show you how to apply these kind of things and how can approaching the right answer easily and quickly for those kind of questions with 2 sample questions following this video. So thank you very much to watching this video, and hopefully watching this sample question as well, and that sample question will helpful for you guys too. Okay, thank you and good luck.